You've been working for 6 years, earning about $68,000 a year. But if something went wrong with your next paycheck, your financial life could still start to wobble. Not because you spend money recklessly, not because you don't know how to save, and not because you have a bad job. That's what makes it so hard to understand. It's 10:17 p.m. Most of the lights in the office building are already off, but you're still sitting in front of your laptop. A spreadsheet needs to be finished by tomorrow morning. An email is marked urgent. A cup of coffee has gone cold beside the keyboard. Your phone buzzes. Payroll deposit received. Your paycheck has just hit your account. For a few seconds, you feel relieved. Then you look at everything waiting ahead. Rent, utilities, internet, car insurance, groceries. More than $28,000 still left in student loans. A few credit card payments. You're not poor. You don't live extravagantly either. You live the way millions of people with stable jobs live every day, going to work, paying bills, trying to save, and hoping the next raise will make everything feel a little easier. But that is exactly what starts to worry you. Over the past 6 years, your income has gone up. Your responsibilities have gone up too. The number of hours you spend working certainly hasn't gone down. You arrive early, stay late, take on the work other people avoid. When a supplier delivers late, you handle it. When the inventory data is wrong, you handle it. When an email shows up at 8 p.m. with the word urgent, you're usually the one who responds. You've done almost everything you were ever taught a responsible person should do. So why hasn't your sense of financial security grown along with your salary? You look at the number in your account one more time. Then a thought keeps you from closing the app. Maybe the problem isn't that you earn too little. Maybe something else is quietly keeping you in exactly the same place, even as your paycheck keeps getting bigger. And if you don't recognize it soon, 10 years from now, you could be making a lot more money and still waking up with exactly the same feeling. The next morning, you go to work as usual. First, you want to understand one thing. If your salary has risen over the past 6 years, why has that feeling of insecurity barely changed? That weekend, you pull up your last 3 months of transactions. You think you're going to find one big mistake, but there's no expensive vacation, luxury car, or purchase large enough to explain everything. Just food delivery after getting home late, a few subscriptions, weekend meals, and dozens of small expenses that are easy to overlook. Look at each one by itself, and nothing seems alarming. But when you look at all 3 months together, you see a pattern. Every time your salary goes up, your life gets a little more expensive too. Not because of one big decision, but because of many small ones. The extra money keeps quietly disappearing. You start changing that. As soon as your paycheck hits your account, part of it is moved into an emergency fund before you have a chance to spend it. You check your 401k, then start setting aside another small amount for long-term investing. A few months later, for the first time, you see money beginning to stay instead of disappearing completely before the next paycheck arrives. But then another thought comes up. All of this money still begins in one place, your job. If the paycheck stops, most of the cash flow stops with it. Cutting expenses helps you breathe easier. Saving makes you safer, but neither one solves that problem. You don't want to leave a stable job. You just want to know whether you can create another source of income without working even more hours at the same job. And then you think about the 6 years of experience you've built. At work, you're usually the person people call when an order is late, a plan starts going wrong, or a conversation with a business partner becomes tense. To you, those things have become normal. But maybe they aren't normal to someone just getting started. 3 or 4 evenings a week, you spend about 90 minutes writing down lessons that took you years to understand. You share them online. At first, almost no one pays attention. But then a few people start asking for sample documents or asking how you handle specific situations at work. You start paying attention. Maybe what feels like ordinary experience to you actually solves a real problem for someone else. You gather your writing into a weekly email. At first, only a few dozen people read it. After a while, more than 1,000 subscribe. And as the same kinds of questions keep showing up, you think you've found your first opportunity. You spend 6 weeks of evenings creating a $49 guide, nearly 70 pages with sample documents and explanatory videos. You put almost everything you know into it. The night before the launch, you can barely sleep. More than 1,000 people are reading what you write. If even a small percentage buy it, the past 6 weeks will have been worth it. The next morning, the email goes out. One person buys, then a second. You keep checking the screen. By noon, the number has barely moved. By the end of the day, only 7 people have bought it. Less than $350 in revenue before fees and taxes. 6 weeks of evening work earned you less than a few overtime shifts at the office. For a few minutes, you think you've just proven the opposite of what you were trying to do. Maybe the simplest way to make more money really is to work more hours. But before giving up, you notice one detail. If the product truly had no value, why did 7 people still buy it? You email them. Then you ask some of the people who looked at the product but decided not to buy. The answer is simple and uncomfortable. They don't need 70 pages of knowledge. They don't want to learn everything you know. They just want to solve one specific problem that is costing them time at work. You built what you wanted to create, not what they actually needed. So the second time, you do the opposite. You cut nearly half the content. The material is shorter. The instructions are clearer. Each section focuses on one specific problem. 2 months later, you try again. This time, more than 40 people buy. One person recommends it to a coworker. A manager asks whether she can buy it for her entire team. The number still isn't large enough to change your life. But something is completely different. Material you created weeks ago can still generate income today, something an hour of overtime can't do. Over the next few months, the number of readers continues to grow, and people keep steadily buying the revised version. You think you finally found the answer. But the next few months quickly prove that things aren't that simple. 1 month, your side income goes above $6,000. The next month, it drops to about half that. Some things sell well, others barely sell at all. And you realize that one good month isn't enough to call something stable. That volatility leads you to an important decision. You don't quit your job. You also don't use the good months to upgrade your lifestyle. You keep the $68,000 a year job. You keep building your emergency fund, investing, and paying down debt. Most of the money from the new income stream is either kept or used to keep building what is working. Time keeps moving. 6 months, then nearly a year after the second attempt, the new income still rises and falls, but it doesn't disappear. At the same time, something else begins to change at the office. You used to think the hardest working person had to be the one who answered emails the fastest, took on the most work, and left the office the latest. But now your evenings are more valuable to you, so you start protecting them. A report that used to take nearly 3 hours every week gets automated. A few meetings that don't really need you disappear from your calendar. Non-urgent emails at 9 p.m. can wait until morning. Before each task, you start asking yourself, does this actually create results, or does it just make me look busy? The surprising part is that your performance doesn't get worse, it gets better. And that's when you begin questioning a belief you've carried for years. Maybe working more and making more progress were never the same thing. Nearly 2 years after that 10:17 p.m. night, your phone lights up again with an email marked urgent. 2 years ago, you would have opened your laptop almost immediately. This time, you look at the screen and put the phone down. Not because you no longer care about your job, you still take responsibility for it. But now, if one source of income runs into trouble, your entire life no longer immediately starts to wobble with it. 2 years ago, what you wanted was to make more money. Now you realize what you were really missing wasn't just money. It was the ability to decide how your time would be used. You don't change your life by stopping working hard. You change it when you stop letting hard work do nothing more than make you run faster down the same road. Earning more can make life more comfortable, but it doesn't automatically give you more freedom if every month you still have to start almost from scratch. The difference begins when some of the money you earn is still there after the month ends, and some of the effort you put in today continues creating value tomorrow. So the next time a paycheck appears in your account, maybe the important question isn't only how much you earned. Ask yourself, how much of it is supporting your life today, and how much is quietly buying back control over your life tomorrow? And maybe the final question is, what is all this effort building, and who will own it?